Hey everyone, this lecture is going to be entitled The Roman Empire Transformation, as opposed to what we used to call it the fall of the Roman Empire, because it doesn't really fall so much as it changes, at least until the 1400s. So this first map I have here is very similar to the map you have in your textbook on page 154, map 7.1. This is the Roman Empire in the 4th century. So you have here Rome, circled in green, which is the capital of Western Roman Empire. And then over here, Constantinople, circled in red, which is the capital of Eastern Roman Empire. Eventually this becomes the Byzantine Empire. But you can see how widespread the Roman Empire was. This is all handled by the Western Roman Empire. This is all handled by the Eastern Roman Empire. So you can see how far out it went, right? Jerusalem, Egypt, North Africa, Spain, up to England. Never did get into Scotland. What we call Italy and France now. So quite a large empire, and you can imagine what problems this would cause trying to hold on to these lands, to maintain them, infrastructures of colonies, and getting foodstuffs to people, and it keeping away the invaders who are coming from the east and north, weakening these defenses along the way. So originally kind of a way of taking care of both parts of the empire since it was so widespread. After the first sack, well, the large sack of Rome in 476, here is Rome, right? And you can see there's no longer a Western Roman Empire, but we do still have Constantinople over here taking care of the Eastern Empire. So this sort of falls, you could say, and this stays and keeps transforming and eventually becomes the Byzantine Empire. All right, and this map is very similar to the one you have on page 155, where you have, it kind of shows you which groups came in, right, when Rome was crushed, what groups came in to take its place. So what I have here for you is a timeline from Constantine down to the Byzantine Empire, and we're going to look at all of these briefly in the following slides. But this is a nice little way of looking at what happened from 306 to 1453. This information will come in a later lecture, but I just wanted you to have the entire timeline in one place. So Constantine becomes emperor in 306. So what? What does that have to do with anything? Well, Constantine is the emperor who sort of started off with the tetrarchy. That's kind of a rule of four people. And you have this on, oh, I forget where in your text this is, 150 something. Let's see, I had it marked a moment ago. Yeah, 153, figure 7.2 shows you a statue of one of those tetrarchies. So tetrarchy means four, so they divided the area up into four. And the map in figure 1 that we looked at a moment ago, you can see those different areas that were created. He created a new seat for the Roman Empire in the east. He took Byzantium and made it into Constantinople. So that's one very important thing. But the second very important thing was that he adopted Christianity, making it the empire's religion, and this sets the stage for Christianity to spread throughout throughout Europe. So that's what he is kind of important for. Christianity was able to spread quickly, mostly due to the empire's road system. People could travel easily. Missionaries could go out and proselytize very easily. A system was begun where bishops were set up in various towns, and they sort of became the, maybe not de facto rulers of these areas, but they had a lot of control over the increasingly Christian population in the towns. At this time, the early church is beginning to kind of decide what it wants to be. What does it mean to be a Christian church? What kind of rules are we going to have? What kind of doctrines? What writings are going to be part of the canon of scriptures? How are we going to teach? And we also, of course, have, right from the very beginning, doctrinal disputes. and we'll look at a number of these as we go forward into the Middle Ages. What I mean by doctrinal disputes is people arguing about things that seem kind of minutiae to us, but was very important to them as they were establishing this new religion of Christianity. Is God the Father and Jesus one? Are they two? Where does the Holy Spirit come in? All of those kind of churchy sorts of things, heresies, all of this will come up in the Middle Ages, all this arguing over about finer points of the religion. So that all begins around this time as well. What they also grappled with was going into these new places along these Roman roads and having to adapt to the local cultures and assimilating some of those local cultures, easing the population's way into Christianity. And they also established monasteries where men and women could go out into isolated areas to pray and that sort of thing. And we'll talk later about how monasteries were important, how they became important parts of life in Europe and all the different functions they served. We'll talk about that later. Around 395, when the empire just becomes just way too big, Theodosius I permanently split the empire into two parts, with the eastern capital at Constantinople. So this is where I had in the slide, we had the Eastern Roman Empire with the capital of Constantinople, and the Western Roman Empire with the capital at Rome. So this kind of became a formal place. Rome, it moves from Rome to Ravenna later, but just the two empires are now apart. In 410, the Visigoths sack Rome for the first time. They were a branch of Gothic tribes, which, as far as we can tell, originally came out of Scandinavia and spread down into southeastern Europe. And again, in figure 3 here, we can kind of see where they spread. Around 410, Rome was no longer the capital, or Ravenna was the capital, but still it was quite a crushing blow to think that Rome could be sacked, who had not had any kind of foreign influence in 800 years, right? No kind of foreign invasions. But you see that they moved all the way out to Spain and concentrated there. That was where the Visigoths went. Let's see, we covered that. We'll be looking at some architecture in Ravenna. That's pretty important in upcoming lectures. So the final sack of Rome itself was in 476, and that's really when the empire is done, right? That's when we have this slide back here. Let's go back to it again. This is, 476, the 500s, which is the 6th century, right? This is what it looked like at that point. So Rome, as we know it, is done. It's over with. Never really maintains that same power again. The first barbarian to rule Rome was a Germanic leader called Odoacer. So he comes in and rules Rome. But in the West, Rome didn't fall. That wasn't the end of the story. That Western Roman Empire the Eastern, typo, I'll fix that. The Eastern Roman Empire continues in what is then called Byzantium. And this is a part of a painting. It's the Siege of Constantinople in the 15th century. This is contemporary painting made at the time. When the empire finally collapses altogether, what has been now called the Byzantine Empire is invaded by Turks of the Ottoman Empire. They capture Constantinople in 1453, following a 53-day-long siege. Now, Constantinople could withstand a lot of sieges and very long ones, and they had stood out against sieges in the past. Sieges where you're being held sort of captive in your own city, right? You can't get supplies in and out, and the enemy sort of hopes to starve you out or to break you down in that way. But they had a good storehouse system, so they were able to withstand for a long time, but not in this instance. At that time, Constantinople is renamed Istanbul, which it is called today. All right, and we will talk more about the Byzantine Empire in later installments.